Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma. Amin ya rabbal alameen. So today is our session number 8. We were learning Arab. We started status last during our previous session. So we will be still continuing with that. And before I take you to a review, were you all able to memorize the tables that were shared with you about your type 1, if you were all able to go through them and understood that how, haza, hazani, hazaini, hazaini, haulai, 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 and all these words are going to be proper. Remember? Okay, alhamdulillah. Few of you have typed 1, alhamdulillah. So make sure when we are learning something new, it's very important that what we have learned, we do not, number 1, we do not forget it. We do not forget the previously learned information. And number 2, it is very important to go back. Okay, it's very important. If you do not try to be with class, it's going to be difficult as we go on and learn more things. Things will be very difficult. People think that they will be able to catch up, but sometimes that time never comes. And because we have not memorized the previous information, we are not able to understand the new concepts that we are introduced to. Okay, so very important that we go back and we'll make sure that we know what we have learned and we have mastered the previous things, inshallah. Okay, so we started with status, and it was just a brief introduction because the time that we were left with during a previous session was, I would say, a little less. So we'll go back and while reviewing, we will, inshallah, understand a little bit more about status. Okay, so in Arabic language, what is unique about Arabic language, we learned during our last session, was that the words, how they end, they tell you by their ending what role they are performing in a particular sentence. Okay, when we were learning our Muslim chart, for mufradism, for singular, how many forms of word you were able to identify? How many different forms? Very well done. Yes, Alina. 3. Yes, Azra. I agree. Yes, right. So did it occur to you at that time why I am learning 3 ways of just a singular word like Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin? Why not just Muslimun? Just like in English, we say book. We don't say bookun, bookan, bookin. We only have to learn one word, right? Did it occur that why I'm learning 3 forms? Why 3 forms of singular, 2 forms for dual, 2 forms for dual in my Muslim masculine chart, right? Yeah, it was something that was strange, and that would have made you think, why I'm doing all this? Why I'm learning 3 forms of a singular word? So this was why you were made to learn 3 forms of a singular word, because your ending, you will be able to identify your role, your word's role in a particular sentence by just looking at its ending. How those ism is ending, you will be able to figure it out by the haraka that it is ending with. Okay, so as we have already understood that your word can have how many statuses, you already have answered that, 3, so we are good with that. Does anyone remember, get the chance to remember, what were the names for those 3 statuses? What were the names for those 3 statuses? It was in the first column of your Muslim chart. Very well done, Alina. It is a Rafa, Nasb, Jar. Raf, Nasb, Jar. I have almost 18 participants, and I am expecting very well done, Azra. So proud of you. I'm now, if you can just put this Tay Marbuta after your Fatah, it will be perfect then. Okay, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Very well done. So Rafa, Nasb, Jar. Those were the three terms that I told you that, just memorize them for now. Okay. And then I will teach you later what this is all about. We are good with the names of these three statuses so far. Type 1. Type 1. Rafa, Nasb, Jar. Okay. So now let's just see now what if your word is a singular word. If it is singular and it ends in a rough status, what haraka you are going to see at the end of the word? Very well done. You will see Dhamma. Okay, everyone with me? All my 18 participants are with me so far on this? Very well done. So Dhamma will be the ending in case of rough status. It will show you the word is rough in status. If your word is singular and nasb in status, what should be the ending? Very well done, Alina, Mavra, Samina. Oh, okay. Yes, Aisha. So I am hoping those people who are learning this concept for the first time, kindly please do not hesitate in typing your answers. Whatever you understand, kindly make an effort to type. And this is, for your benefit, inshallah. But for those who have learned it before, if they, just give a chance to the sisters who are learning it for the first time for a second or two, and then you girls start typing your answers. Okay, inshallah. Okay, if your word is singular and jar in status, very well done, Huma. Very well done, Kasra. It is going to be the jar status of a singular word is denoted by Kasra, as we see in our Muslim chart, Muslimin. When I go to Muslimatun chart, the feminine chart, same is true, same holds true. Muslimatun is the status of Muslimatun is rough, right? The status of Muslimatan, Muslimatan is nasbin status. Muslimatin, Muslimatin is jarin status, right? Everyone with me? This little bit you have understood? Alhamdulillah. So now this was the singular column. And then when I show you, I'm right now, I'm not showing you the Muslim chart, but if you do have your Muslim chart in front of you, let's just go back and see what where your thing was. Okay, here, if I show you this Muslim chart, look at this, focus on your dual. Can you all do that? Just focus on your dual now, okay? Are you all with me so far? If my word is dual, and status is rough, what kind of ending I'm going to have? Very well done, Huma. Ani, and Huma is, she just took it to, the indication of dual, the indication of rough status is alif. And Ani, most of the time you are going to see Ani ending, okay? If my word is dual, and my word is nasb jar, what will be the ending? First tell me the ending, whole ending, right? Aini, very good job. Now tell me what letter is representing your dual nasb jar status. Yeah, very well done, Alina. Very well done, Mavra and Aisha. Okay, Sister Sabra, great job. Now tell me, in case of dual, your ya has to be preceded by which haraka? Preceded by. It should be preceded by the haraka before your ya should be fatah. Muslimaini. Can you see this meme here? Carrying the fatha, right? Right? So if you have a ya in your word and it is preceded by fatha, your word is dual. Your word is, your ism is dual in that case. Your word is dual in that case. And it could be nasb or jar, and you will figure out which one it is based on the context. Everyone with me so far? I need answers from Mavra, Aisha, Alina. And if I'm missing any name, please, if you are a first time beginner student, please, if you have any confusion, Hina, I need answer from Hina. And those people have to answer before I move forward to the next column. Everyone is with me so far? So if you are looking at your word has ya, that is the sign of your nasb jar status. But this ya has to be preceded by a letter carrying fatha. Why I am saying so? We will learn it just in a second when we will make comparison. When I go to jama, when I go to plural, what will I see? What will be my ending like in case of rough status? Rough status. In case of rough status, my ending is going to be una, right? Muslimuna, mujrimuna, mu'minuna, muhsinuna, mutafarriquna, right? Una. Okay. When I look deeply in this word, the rough status is being denoted by which letter? If you have to give me one letter, your wow, remember that your wow. What is this noon all about? Where is this noon coming from? This noon, very well done. Tanween of mufrad, the noon is here from there. Okay, the noon of jama, listen carefully, the noon of jama has what haraka? Fatha, dama, kasra. Fatha, very well done. The noon of dual, has kasra. Okay, so Huma, I think it was in our previous session, I think when we started doing numbers, your word muslimun has how does it end? What is the ending? What is the ending sound? What kind of a sound it ends with? Muslimun. What's the last letter? What do you think? Muslimun. Tanween. Yeah, tanween is, what does tanween has? Tanween has noon. Hina is right. There is a noon there after Muslimun. The noon there. Mavra. Yes, noon is ending with noon. This noon is there that you have to read, but you cannot see. Can you see this noon? Can anyone see this noon? No, you do not see this noon. Okay, so this is a noon that you are going to read but not see, but the noon is there, and this noon is with which haraka? Muslimun. When I say Muslimun, what haraka is on my noon? Muslimun. My noon gets sakoon. The noon is with sakoon. Muslimun. I'm not saying musliminu, right? It is Muslimun. It is a noon with sakoon, which is hidden in my tanween. The noon that is hidden in my tanween is with sakoon. When I bring that noon to dual, what haraka do I give it? What haraka my noon gets? It gets kasra. Everyone with me so far? It gets kasra. When I come to plural, when I get to plural, what haraka my noon gets? Fatha, right? My noon gets fatha. So keep that in mind. You will be able to yourself identify your dual and plural if you focus on your Muslim chart. This is your best friend to learn grammar your tables are your best friends. Okay, inshallah, you will understand the value. Inshallah, and you must be understanding it at this moment, and inshallah more so in future as well. Okay, so similarly, when we go to nasb and jar in case of plural, come back to now your we are in status, right? We have done this when we learned our Muslim chart, that how there's a hidden noon in mufrad, and how this muslimani is this the same noon of tanween that is with kasra here, and the same noon of tanween has a fatha in case of your plural. Okay, we learned it in our previous session. The recording is available, and you should be able to inshallah find it out, because I usually put some description. I think you should be able to find that recording if there is any confusion, okay, for students who have just joined us. Okay, when I go to Muslimuna, to be precise, my status is denoted by letter waw, and you all have identified it. Now when I go to nasb and jar, what is telling me the status of my word? Muslimina. In Muslimina, what is ina ending? Very well done. Yes, ina ending. And then when I asked you what letter, which letter, you are going to tell me the ya. So yeah, now if I, ya is there for plural, ya is there for musanna. So I'm now confused, aren't you? How can I solve this confusion? Are you all clear? Both of them have ya, and how will I distinguish one from the other? Yes, it's a haraka of a letter before that I'm now going to focus on. In case of my dual, the haraka of a letter before ya was fatha. In case of dual, haraka before ya was fatha. Everyone with me so far? Muslimaini. See, Muslimaini. Remember, I just asked you what is the haraka before your ya. But every time in Quran you will see this, right? That the haraka before ya in case of dual is going to be fatha. What are you seeing in case of jama or plural? What haraka are you seeing? Kasra. Everyone with me so far? Kasra. Everyone agrees that there is kasra. Muslimina. I'm not saying Muslimaina, right? I'm saying Muslimina. Kasra. So pay attention to this. Okay, if you focus on each and every haraka, and Arabic is all about haraka, Arabic is all about letters. Every letter makes a difference. You will have a little ba before your word, little ba, and it's going to change your meaning completely. Okay, so keep paying attention to each and every letter, and how I'm explaining. Please keep that in mind, inshallah. So everyone understood what I am talking about? Everyone is with me so far? Okay. Similarly, let me take you to Muslimatun chart and make sure we learn this as well. Okay, so we are clear with Muslimatun, Muslimatan, Muslimatin. Everyone was with me. Everyone was able to tell me the status is going to be a rafa in case of Muslimatun. Muslimatan is nasb and Muslimatin is jar. Muslimatani, what is telling you the word is raf in status? What is ta doing here? I want answers from Hina, and yes, Barakallahu Feek, Alina, Hina, Mavra, Aisha. Very well done. Ta is indicator of your feminine. It's not telling you that your word is rough in status. Your rafa status is coming from the letter, just to be precise, alif. Your ending ani ending is your rough ending. Okay, but when I ask you which letter is giving you is a giveaway for a rough, you, as Alina is typing alif is my giveaway, because noon is coming from my tanween. When I go to nasb status, similar thing happens. Muslimataini, your ya preceded by which haraka is going to tell you this is dual and this is nasb or jar. Fatha, fatha, muslimataini. Read those words aloud, okay? And yes, your families will think that, you know, what has happened to these girls, but that's totally fine. You are learning Arabic with a very passionate teacher. So I want you to be all like myself. So, you know, when I was learning it, I would just go crazy sometimes. But muslimataini, so your ya preceded by fatha is going to be indicative of your dual nasbochar. And ta in muslimataini is denoting what? What is it there for? Feminine. Do not forget that. When I am going to ask a test you or quiz you, everything will be in your test like that. You may have learned it differently, but the test that I'm going to give you will be based on what you have been learning in these sessions. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, when I go to plural, it is relatively simple. So muslimatun, what is denoting my rough status in case of plural feminine? Atun. And what is denoting my nasbanjar status? Atin ending. Okay. Hina has written Mavra Aisha. I'm still waiting for Aisha to type. Atin ending. Huma, very good job. Very well done. So everyone is with me so far. If I show you words now, you will be able to identify which is this, what is the status of the word. Alhamdulillah. Very well done. What about Alhamdulillah, the new students, the beginners of Arabic grammar? Yes? Okay. Okay, let's just do it then, inshallah, without wasting any time, inshallah. So as we have told you that our, you know, go-to surah is Suratul Fatiha. Okay. And now you are all going to help me with the status of the words, mainly the isms of Suratul Fatiha. Okay. So what should I write here? Make sure all those columns are filled. Everyone, make sure that you have already filled those columns. Okay, inshallah. Surah 2, what is the status? Raf, very well done. Well, how did you identify? Mavra, what? Dhamma, very well done. So I'm going to put Raf here. Okay. Then comes my word Al-Fatihati. What is the status? The word is ending with kasra. The word is ending with kasra. Why I am not seeing a tanween on ta marbuta? What's the reason for tanween not being there? There are two things that cannot coexist. Your al and tanween cannot go together. Very well done, Aisha, and everyone. But I am, you know, please, the thing is that, you know, when you are starting something from the very beginning, it's very hard. It's very hard. And if these sisters of yours get this encouragement from you all and from me, you know, it's going to make a difference you know, it's going to make a big difference in their learning. So they need a lot of encouragement, and you girls have to be source of inspiration for them as well. All the new learners, for all the new learners, you know, the correct answer is not the purpose of this session. Okay, the purpose is that we all increase in iman and be the source of inspiration for each other, that, you know, we have to learn Quran, because one day you will find Quran Rabi'a qalbi, Nura sadri, Jala'a huzni, Zahaba ghammi wa hammi. Honestly speaking, that happens without you knowing it, right? So now this was your jar. Now I have a word bismi, and it is not one word. It has two components to it. There are two words. B was harf. I'm not going to look at B. Okay, I'm going to look at ism. My ism is ending with ismi. So what's the status? Everyone? Jar? I agree with you. Lafzul Jalala. Allah. Allahi. What's the status? Jar. Very well done. Okay. So let me go down. Ar-Rahmani. What's the status? Jar. Very well done. Ar-Rahimi. What's the status? Jar. Alhamdu. Rough. Very good. Why, Huma, why is it rough? Dhamma. Very well done. Hina, Samina, Mavra, Aisha. Dhamma. Because your Dhamma was there. That is how you are going to call your word rough. Very well done. Lillahi. How many words? One word, two words? Two words. Two. Li is what kind of word li is? Li means for. Just a review. Lafzul Jalala. It's harf. So for harf, we are not going to worry about status. Okay. We are going to worry about Allahi. Lafzul Jalala at this point. Okay. What's the status? Jar. Everyone agrees? Okay. I agree too. It is jar. How is it jar? Because of kasra, right? Rabbi. Everyone with me so far? Because it has kasra, it is jar in status. Now comes your word al-alamina. Al-alamina. What is the status? Okay, it's only nasb. Aisha, very well done. Nasb or jar. Nasb or jar, right? Because your word will look like al-alamuna, al-alamina, al-alamina. It can be nasb or jar. Do not forget that. It will look the same in nasb or jar status. What helped you identify? What helped you identify that this word is nasb or jar? Sign. Ina, very well done. Ending combination, Ina told you. What is the letter there? Ya. But ya is also in dual. What was there before ya? Kasra before ya. And remember, your noon, what's the number here? Plural. Your noon of plural always carries blank haraka. Noon of plural carries plural. This is Zora. Noon of plural. Noon of plural carries dhamma. Al-alam mi noon? No, it carries fatha, right? Noon of plural. You know, when we are looking at the word al-alamina, your noon is carrying fatha. If it was a dual, if it was a dual, it would have been al-alamani, al-alamaini, al-alamaini, and it will always carry kasra. Okay, in case of dual, noon carries kasra. In case of plural, it's going to carry fatha. Keep that in mind. Okay, noon in case of plural is going to carry fatha. Ar-Rahmani. Ar-Rahmani is jar. Very well done, Ghazala. Very well done. It's jar because of jar. The answer is because of kasra. Ar-Rahimi will be fast now. Jar because I know you girls have already understood this concept. Maliki. Jar because of, I will keep asking just so that you know everyone is with me. Yomi is jar. Ad-dini, jar. Ni, right? We are skipping this one. Na'budu is your fail. We are not going to go there. Wow is your harf. We are not going to go there. Iyaka, I did not teach you. I'm not going to go there. Nasta'inu is a fail. We are skipping it. Ihdina is a fail plus an ism, but we are going to skip it at the moment. Okay. As-sirata. What's the status? Hina, very well done. Very well done, Ghazala, Samina. So it is nasb. Fatha is there. Very well done. Huma, you got it. Al-mustaqima. Nasb by mansoob bil fatha, right? Mansoob bil fatha. It has, the word is nasb in status because of fatha. Sirata again is nasb Yes, very well done, Sister Sabra. Mansoob bil fatha. In Arabic, you will see it written like that. Okay. Now, allazina. Now comes your allazina. Remember, who has memorized their Ism Mawsul table? Ism Mawsul. Yes, it is Ism Mawsul. So when I did give you the table, and let me take you, oh no, I may not have it opened up in my drive, but do you all remember how was it? Who memorized there is a Mawsul table, Allazi table? Mavra, do you want to unmute yourself and come to the mic and recite that table so that we know what can the...
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mavra, go for the is a Mawsul table, Allazi.
Okay, first the masculine table.
Mhm.
Allazi 3 times. Allazi, allazi, allazi. Allazani, allazaini, allazaini. Allazina, allazina, allazina.
Barakallah.
Then the feminine. Allati, allati, allati. Allatani, allataini, allataini. And allati, allati. 3 times, or Allah, Allahi.
Very well done. Barakallahu feek. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from you. So now when you recited, when you all sisters heard Sister Mavra reciting Allazi table, did she say Allazuna, Allazina, Allazina? Did she say that? No, she did not. For Rafa, Nasb and Jar. And Sister Zohra has already typed. So Allazina could be Raf, Nasb, or Jar. Everyone with me so far? Everyone with me so far? Huma, I don't see any yes from you. Hina, I think you have already said yes, right? So when I opened up those tables for you, you know everything in these sessions. If you are given something, please note that there's a reason why I have done anything different from what you have found in your book. So keep that in mind. If something is not the way you have found in your Arabic language book from Dream, there's a reason behind it. And Ustad has done phenomenal job. It's just whatever I have learned from him. I am not adding anything. My main teacher was Ustad Numan. I'm just, if something is easier for students to understand. So now when you will see that my word is Allazina, 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 you will be able to identify that this word will look the same in Rafa, Nasb, and Jar status. So everyone with me so far? Because there is no other plural. There's only one plural, Allazina. It's not like Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina, right? So, okay. And Amta is a fail. I'm skipping it. Alayhim. At this point, I'm skipping it. I will go to Ghairi, though I have been skipping this word. But if I ask you, give me status for this word, what status are you going to give me? Jar. Very well done, everyone. Al-Maghdubi. This surah has a lot of jar status. Barakallah. And alayhim again I'm skipping, and whom I'm skipping for the time being. Waulam adolin. Now, again comes your plural word. So what's the status? Adolin. Nasbar jar. Nasbar jar, right, Alina? Because it is going to be adoluna, adolina, adolina, right? Everyone with me so far? So that was an easy exercise. Alhamdulillah, it was easy. Okay, so you got how your words is going to look like. So now that part is an easy part. So now you are going to learn why your word is going to be rough, why your word is going to be nasb, and why is it going to be jar in status. Okay, so in English language, and this is how we are going to we'll learn something in English, and then we'll change it into Arabic, because the common language that you and me have at the moment is English, right? We are trying to give the instructions or whatever I'm trying to do is in English. So we'll take help from English, and then we'll apply it in Arabic. inshallah. So in any language, in English, we encounter two kind of sentences. Okay, two kinds of sentences we normally see. Okay, one is a verbal sentence and one is a nominal sentence. Verbal sentence will have a clear verb in it. There's an action word in it. So if I give you a sentence, I ate chocolates, is it a verbal sentence or a nominal sentence? Verbal is the one that has fail in it, or and nominal is the one that has ism in it. So it's a verbal sentence, right? Easy. If I say Fatima is a good girl, what kind of a sentence it is? It's a nominal or a verbal sentence? It's a nominal sentence. Everyone with me so far? It's easy. It's a nominal sentence. In Arabic, your verbal sentence is called fi'liya because it has fail in it. Because it has fail in it, so it's going to be jumla fi'liya, and jumla is a word that is used in Urdu as well, and it's a word that is used very commonly in your English language as well. So that makes our job easy. Okay, so when comes your nominal sentence in Arabic, your nominal sentence is called jumla ismiya. Okay, jumla ismiya is your nominal sentence, and your, in this case, what you will find is your predicate is a noun. Okay, something similar to a noun or a, some there are other, things as well, but for now, just focus, on, because you need to learn from these sentences, from these English sentences, Arabic. Okay, you're going back to Arabic, which is, I'm not teaching English grammar, right? I'm teaching Arabic grammar. So I ate chocolates, you all figured out that this is my verbal sentence, right? I ate chocolates, because there is some action going on. So in any given sentence, to find the status of an ism, what you are going to do is, first of all, you will determine the action. What is an action in case of I ate chocolates? Eating, yeah, the action that is happening is eating, or ate is an action. The next step is, who did the action? Who did the action? I did. I ate. I just was on an eating binge, so I ate chocolates. Okay, so I am the doer. Okay, whenever your word is a doer, whenever your word is a doer, the ending or the status of your word is going to be rough. Tell yourself, if action, I will fill this with you here. Action was eating, so we determined that doer was I. Where is my I? Okay, here it is there, and then the doer is I, and my doer is going to be always rough. Your doer will be always which status? Rough and status. Everyone with me so far? My beginner sisters, newbies are with me, alhamdulillah. So if I asked you, what's the status of I does not have the matain. Ayun does not exist in English, because English is not as advanced as Arabic, because Arabic is Arabic. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose this language to reveal his kalam, right? Quran is speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for a reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose this, right? So if I have to give it a status, I'm going to give it a rough status. Everyone agrees? Okay, very good. Now the third thing is the step number 3 that I have written, and these are all from your dream book or your Arabic language book of Bayina, Ustad's book. Know that rest all is your detail after you have identified your action and a doer. So I identified I was a doer, ate was action, or eating or ate was an action. And what did I eat? What did I eat? Apple, on, but I did not eat apple, Samina. I ate chocolates. Apple is good for health. So I ate chocolates. So I have to now give it a status, right? Right? I have to give it a status. So Apple is something that is a receiver of an action, right? Apple is something that is giving me detail of an action. Is it doing those two jobs or no? Right? The chocolate, sorry, chocolate. Yeah. So chocolate is the receiver of an action. Chocolate is your object, or you can also call it in simpler terms, it's a detail of an action. So what did somebody eat? You know that, I ate chocolates. So this, when you have a detail in a sentence like this, your detail is always and always going to be nasb and status. Keep that in mind. There are many other reasons for a word to be nasb and status, but the most important reason that you need to know today and for the next few weeks is that your detail, your object of an action is your detail slash object of an action is always going to be nasb and status. Everyone with me so far? Very well done. Sabra, Jazakallah khair for writing that for everyone. Alhamdulillah. So now, since I did the act of eating chocolate, so now there are always some consequences. Every action has a reaction, right? So what happened afterwards was my tooth started hurting. My tooth started hurting. So what's the next action now? Hurting is an action. Started to hurt or started hurting is an action, right? So started hurting is my, it started hurting is an action. Who is the doer of an action now? Is it tooth? My tooth, okay. Everyone agrees it is tooth. Does anyone in their mind think that it was I started hurting? Any confusion? That my is, it is, remember, is it me or my tooth? You have to be able to differentiate, okay? It is my tooth that is hurting. It is not me or, tooth, who the doer is the tooth, right? Very well done, Alina. Your doer is the tooth, okay? Yes, Huma, yes, that is, tooth is the doer here. And we are going to come to, what is, in jar status in a little bit, okay? So here we don't see, much in terms of, what is much in terms of, it started, what did it start? It started hurting. You can say more so like a detailed kind of a thing. The next thing is the dentist gave me filling. Now, first of all, again, stepwise approach. Determine the action. What's the action? Gave is an action. Now determine the doer of the action. Dentist. Very well done. So whoever thinks it is dentist, they are right. Okay. What is the detail here? What's the detail here? Okay. Detail is filling. What about this me guy here? What happens to me? Me is a receiver of an action as well, right? Yes. Me is also detail. Me, first of all, who did he give the filling to? To me. First of all, I am the detail. Life is sometimes for some people all about I, me, and myself, which is not good, right? In Islam, we don't learn this. Quran does not teach us that, but for some people, life is all about I, me, and myself, which is a very wrong approach. However, to learn whatever we need to learn today, I have I, me, and myself kind of a example in front of you. So remember this. First, who received the filling? Me. It is me. I received the filling. What did I receive? It's a filling that I received, and I'm going to put it here as well. Okay, now coming back, my tooth. What will be the status of tooth? What will be the status of tooth? Tooth is going to be a rough in status. Tooth is going to be rough in status. Just like I, in the first example, I ate chocolate, I was rough in status. Tooth is going to be rough in status. Okay, then I come to dentist. What will be the status of dentist? Rough in status. What will be the status of me and filling? because it's a detail, right? Who received the action is a detail of an action. What was given? Feeling was given. It's a detail of an action, and all details are going to be nasb and status. First step, find your doer, find your doer, find your doer, and then and find your action and a doer, and then rest is all detail. Everyone with me so far? So now you have understood that if I'm a doer, the status is going to be, if anyone is a doer, the status is going to be rough, right? If anyone is a detail, the status is going to be nasb. Okay. So now what is this jar thing doing here? What is the jar status doing in Quran? We have not only 2 statuses, we have learned 3 statuses, right? So the most important thing of of everything that you need to remember, the most important for jar status that you need to remember is the word after of is always jar in status. Yes, it has whatever is is in possession, who the person who is possessing something, or an object who's possessing something, that is going to be jar in status. For example, my tooth. What's another way of phrasing my tooth? Tell me. Tooth of mine, right? Tooth of mine. So who is owning the tooth? Who's the owner of the tooth? Me. Mine should be, what should be the status of mine? Mine is jar in status because it is after of. Book of Allah. Book of Allah. What should be the status of Allah? Rasul, Rasul of Allah. What should be the status of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Lafzul Jalala. Jar, because the word is after all. Keep that in mind, okay? Sometimes it can be confusing when you have, his books. So what you will do is, you will do it in a very not so fancy English. You will just simplify your English, okay? If you see his books, and now you need to know the status of his, you are going to do, what are you going to make it? Books of him. And what's the status of him now? You will be able to know, right? Everywhere in English, this will work, and everywhere in Quran, the same rule works. In Quran, things are easy because they will tell you what they are doing by their ending haraka or ending combination. Same does not hold true in English. Okay. So I think that is clear. So book of his. In book of his, what's the status of his? Jar. Okay. What is your default status? Your word should be by default this, rough, right? Everyone with me so far? So if I ask you, book of his, what should be the status of book? Now I don't know anything about it. So default is rough. So the book status of book should be rough, right? If you don't know anything about, if you just are given a phrase, I will always say Rasulullahi, or lu, lam dhamma lu. I will end it like lu. Kitabullahi. So I will end with ba with dhamma. So because my default, even when I'm explaining things to you, sisters, so I will keep that in mind. But sometimes what happens is I may bring phrases from Quran, and so it will be just exactly how it was in Quran. So that keep that in mind, okay, as well. So everyone is with me so far as as the Rafa and Jar goes. Okay, so I just need to hear from Sister Aisha is there, Alina. Everyone is, Sister Huma, yeah. I was just about to call your name as well. Okay, now we just did the verbal sentence, examples of verbal sentences. So in case of nominal sentence, for example, I have a couple of examples. Fatima is a Muslim. So in case of nominal sentences, you have a subject and a predicate. Instead of doer, you just call it a subject, right? Fatima is going to be a subject. So your subject is also going to be always, always a rough in status. What will be the status of subject? Rough. Always remember. Always remember. Hamza is a hafiz. So what will be the status of Hamza? He is going to be rough because your subject is always rough in status. Okay. Everyone understood this so far? I have 21 sisters. So subject is or doer is going to be rough in status. Subject or doer is going to be rough in status. Okay. Keep that in mind. In a nominal sentence, how you do is like, Fatima is going to be a subject, is a Muslim is going to be a predicate. Okay. Also remember, in most cases, not all, in most cases, your predicate, like this Muslim, is also going to be rough in status. Everyone with me so far? So if I have to give a Muslim a haraka, which haraka I'm going to give? It's going to be dhamma. It's going to be rough. Rafa status is going to be given rafa status, and the haraka that I'm going to give Muslim is going to be rough. Hamza is going to be given dhamma, and Hafiz is also going to be given what haraka? Pata dhamma kasra. Dhamma. Remember that. Okay. Hafiz. Okay. Let's just do it like that. And okay, so I will just put it here. So it's always going to be rough. Okay. This is rough, and this is also going to be rough in status. Fatima is going to be rough in status because she's a subject, and Muslim is the predicate, and it's going to be also rough in status. Everyone? No, details are belong to action. Okay. So when we do a verbal sentence, then we do details that we have learned. That chocolate was a detail, me was a detail in case of a dentist giving me filling. So is it clear? In a nominal sentence, you usually have a subject and a predicate kind of a thing in English, and it always it's going to vary. It's English is not the same as Arabic. There is not an I unfortunately or fortunately because Arabic is such a language, you will see that sometimes there are variations. It's in English will never do complete justice to this beautiful language. Keep that in mind, inshallah. Okay. So now coming back to our table and whatever slides that we were supposed to do. Everyone has understood whatever I was trying to teach so far. Tell me. Yes. Okay. So let's just go and try to do this a little bit. Okay. So can you see Ja Muslimun? So what is Muslimun here? In English, what will you call Muslimun here? A Muslim came. Muslim is a doer, right? A Muslim is a doer here, or a subject, right? Doer or a subject. In verbal sentence, you can also say subject as well. So he's a doer. So the haraka that he received was the matain, and that is how we have learned it. Now, is it clear why is it the word is Muslimun, not Musliman or anything else? Everyone with me so far? Because first of all, you determined what was the action. Action was, what was the action here? Came was an action. So who did the action? Muslim did the action. So Muslim should get what? Which haraka? He should get dhamma, right? He should get dhamma. Ra'aytu Musliman. I saw a Muslim. Now, what is the action? First of all, do not forget your steps. If you just overshoot, you will make mistakes. Saw is an action, right? Who did the action? Now find out the doer. Number one doer. What haraka should I have? What haraka should be dhamma. If here it's going to be a little different because now it's a pronoun which is attached. But that the I is always going to be rafa. whatever haraka it gets or not get, the doer of an action is always rough in status. Always rough in status. Okay. Now comes your Musliman. So you determined the action was saw. I was the doer. I saw a Muslim. What is a Muslim? Muslim is a I saw a Muslim. Now we are in a verbal sentence. So in a verbal sentence, we have a action, we have a doer, and we have detail. So Muslim now is a detail. So what haraka should it be carrying? Muslim should be fatha. And you can see this fatha guy, right? This fathatain, right? Everyone is appreciating this fathatain here. Everyone with me so far? Okay. Now what happened was, so I saw a Muslim. Now it's my responsibility that I show some etiquette, right? So what did I do was Sallamtu ala Muslimin. Okay, Sallamtu ala Muslimin. So I greeted a Muslim. So here, ala Muslimin has a preposition here. This preposition, what did it do was, yes, it is a detail, but here your detail was preceded by a preposition here, ala. Okay, sorry, I have to go back. Okay, so because of this ala, instead of Musliman, it changed to Muslimin, and we will learn it in a little bit. Okay, don't worry about this part. We are, we may not be able to get there, but inshallah, we are going to, learn it, inshallah. So because of the preposition, it was Muslimin, but inshallah, we will see how things work here. Okay, so now this was your chart, and you are able to understand everything. This slide we have gone through. Okay, on the other review we have done, your default status is rough. Your the word that is rough in status is called marfu. What is it called? Marfu. MARFOO. How? And you can just, apostrophe, it's fine. Yes, very well done, Sister Sabra. And that's how we are going to call it, marfu. Okay, doer is always what in status? Your doer is always rough in status. So we have done this two-step approach already. We have taken this and we have identified 2 steps. Identify the action. Ask yourself, who is doing the action? That will make your job super duper easy. Subject in a verbal sentence or a doer in a verbal sentence, always rough in status. Subject in a nominal sentence, always rough in status. Yusuf, Yusuf is the name of a prophet. So what status you are going to give to Yusuf? Rough. Name is the predicate. Name of a prophet. Name. What will be the status of name? Is a name. We are in a nominal sentence, Mariam. So it's a rough in status. Rough in status. What will be the status of prophet? Just be careful. Everyone, careful before you answer. The word prophet is after off. After off. Your word after off is always jar in status. Jar in status. Do not forget it. So, you take your sweet time. Okay, inshallah. Now comes a very important note for the advanced students who have already learned a lot of grammar before. Just remember, there are other reasons for a word to be rough in status. You will see the ma ending on a lot of words. So keep that in mind. Not every word, there are exceptions. Not every word ending with the ma represents a doer or a subject. For example, in Quran, you must have seen Ya Adamu, Ya Shuaibu, Ya Solihu. Is Ya Solihu doer of an action there? When you say Ya Solihu, what do you think? No, right? Sister Aisha, no, right? Your Adamu is not doing an action. Somebody else is doing an action by calling Adam alayhi salam, right? Right? Everyone with me so far? He's a receiver of an action, but still in Quran, every mufrid word, every word that is single, that is not in a phrase, that is not a fragment, every word, when you will be calling that, you will be always use a dhamma ending. Okay, so keep that in mind. Everywhere, yeah, Adamu was not a doer or a subject. He was a receiver of an action. Somebody was doing the job of calling him, right? So that is an exception. So with everything, it's just a side note. Don't focus on this from this class. Focus on whatever we did before. Okay, whatever we did before was most important thing, but this is an exception. So whenever you are seeing a word, would that call rough? Yes, the status is, if I ask you what's the status of Adam, you are going to call it rough, but it is not the doer, it is not the subject, right? Yes, keep that in mind. So why is it given the status and what not, you are going to learn it, not now, but inshallah it will be coming soon, inshallah. So with that, since I am running out of time, I will end my session here, and we will continue with status, and inshallah we'll try to finish it off in our last in our next session, inshallah. So sorry, I cannot take any questions. Send any questions if you have in the group to Sister Faiza. She will forward them to me. Jazakallah khair for listening, and subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.